Hey everyone, welcome back to the McDonald Chronicles. Today we are going to do a March TBR. So I 100% learned my lesson from last month's TBR. I put way too many books on my February TBR. It just didn't leave room for anything else. So I put 10 books on my February TBR. Completely forgot I had 2 books I had to read for book clubs that I'm a part of, so that would have been 12 books. And then, you browse in the library, you go book shopping, and then a few more books just kind of ended up on the TBR, so it became a disaster. So this month, I have decided that I'm just going to put 4 books on my March TBR, knowing that I have 2 books I have to read for book club, which we'll talk about, and then leaving room for more books. This TBR is actually gonna be really cool because I am having a spinner wheel pick the 4 books that I'm going to be adding to my March TBR, and then we'll talk about the 2 other books that I have to read for book clubs. So first, one of the books I'm reading for book club this month is American Sherlock. So this is a nonfiction book all about a man named Oscar Heinrich, who basically came up with a lot of the forensics that are used today. So pretty cool to kind of see it from that perspective, especially as someone like myself who reads a lot of mystery novels and is kind of interested in true crime things. So this is really cool. Next book that I'm reading in March for another one of my book clubs is First Fly Wins. I don't know too much about that one. I believe it's like a thriller type book. I think the main character basically hunts people down to kill them, but is like lying about her life, something like that. But I think it's in someone's book club, one of those like Reese, or I think it's in Reese Witherspoon's book club. So it's supposed to be really good. I've seen a lot of it on BookTube as well. I think it was book of the month for one of the book of the month boxes anyway. But so American Sherlock and First Fly Wins are the 2 book club books I'm reading for March. All right, and then we have 4 more that I'm going to add to my TBR for a total of 6, and then still leaving room for some other books. I'm actually starting a challenge this month, and I'll be documenting that on Shorts, so make sure you're subscribed for that. I'm going to get up early pretty much every day this month and just read before everyone wakes up. I know I mentioned in ways I find time to read video as a mom, which I'll link down below, that typically I like to find time to read at night before I go to bed, but just recently that just hasn't been happening, and I've just been doing other things before I go to bed at night, and then kind of only having time to read like 3 or 4 pages. So I feel good about waking up beforehand to try and read a little bit. I'm kind of excited just because I keep looking at all of the books that I have to read and I want to read them. So I think this will be a fun way for me to get some of that reading in and also recoup from the fact that I'm in the middle of like 6 different books right now because of my February disaster. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Make sure you stick around for that. All right, let's get into it. Let's have the spinner wheels pick. So the way I did this was I created 4 different spinner wheels. The first one has a few different books from my 24 and 2024 books that I chose back in January. Not all of them, just ones that I know I can get my hands on this month. The next list is a bunch of audiobooks I want to read that I know are available on audio to me either on Spotify or through my library. Then the third spinner list is books that I want to read that are all available on Kindle Unlimited because I want to make sure I'm using that each month since I'm paying for it. And the 4th list, I wrote every single book, either library or that I own, that's on my physical TBR. I've kind of been hoarding a few library books. None are overdue, so that's fine. But I want to make sure that maybe I get through a couple of them because I do want to read them, which is why I'm holding on to them before they're due at the library or someone else needs them. All right, so let's do some spinning. All right, so first up, we have my 24 and 2024 list. So again, not all the books on this list, just the ones I know I can get my hands on this month. So let's see what we get. Ooh, all right, I'm excited about this one. So this is The Atlas 6 by Oliver Blake. I think now there are 2 or 3 books in this series, so this will be a fun one to read this month. All right, next up on this list are some books that I know I can get audio versions of. So let's see what we get. Oh yes, okay, perfect. I'm super excited for this one. So 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This was on Goodreads like top 100 romances of the last 3 years, and I had never heard of it. So a lot of those books I had heard of, and this one I hadn't, so I'm actually really excited to read this one because I feel like sometimes with those lists, the ones you haven't heard of are the best ones. So super excited about that one. All right, this next list are some books that are on Kindle Unlimited that have caught my eye, and that I want to take a look at this month. Let's see what it's gonna be. Ooh, okay. A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. I have heard mixed things about this one, so I'm excited to see what I think. All right, and the last one are all the books on my physical TBR. This spinner has a lot more choices on it, so let's see what it's gonna be. Oh, nice. All right, Play to Win by Jody Slaughter. I actually talked about this in my February TBR. I didn't get to it, but I still want to read it, so I put it on this list. I'm excited about it. So it's been on the TBR 2 months in a row. Cool. All right. So we've got The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake, Play to Win by Jody Slaughter, 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, and A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. So those will be the 4 books that I'm adding along with American Sherlock and First Lie Wins to my March TBR. Make sure you're subscribed so you can see which books I actually read in March. In my March wrap-up, hopefully, March is a much better reading month than February was. Like I said, got some plans to be waking up early this month in March, so hopefully that helps. All right, well, thank you so much for sticking around. Please drop below in the comments what books you are excited to read in March. I cannot wait to read them, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Cheers.